Hey, is that folk music there you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
Hey folks, how you doing? My name is Ralph Litwin and welcome to Horses Sing None of It. Now you're all saying to yourselves, if you're regular viewers, where's the other person? There's usually another person on the show playing music at the beginning. Well, let me tell you what happened. I got a call as I was leaving the house, and a fellow named George Green is in the hospital, sorry to say, and he can't make it tonight. So I figured, well, let's not waste the studio time, let's make a show, and here I am to make a show for you. That little piece was a thing called Banjo Town, written by a fellow named Joe Morley around the turn of the century. And now I'm going to give you a number by Uncle Dave Macon, the first featured star of the Grand Ole Opry, ladies and gentlemen. They called him the Dixie Dewdrop. He was an odd-looking fellow with two big mutton chop sideburns and big eyes that popped out of his head. And he used to record some funny messages on the beginning of his albums, or his records, 78s at that time, and he'd say things like, ladies and gentlemen, oh, I have to explain, see now, in the old days, you'd go into a record store and you'd play the record before you bought it, because you wanted to make sure it was something you wanted to take home with you. So on this one particular record, he said, ladies and gentlemen, buy this record. It's well worth the money, and besides, you'll please the lady or the gentleman selling it to you. Aha, now here's my song. I've been living in the city, but I like that country life. I got a little country girl I'm gonna call my wife. The first night I met her, the next night after that, Oh, we kissed one another, and then she told me that I'll tickle Nancy, and Nancy'll tickle me. When we're together, how happy we shall be, for we shall sit together as happy as can be. And I'll tickle Nancy, and Nancy'll tickle me. Well, the next night I met her, and the next night after that, we kissed one another, and then she told me that, of course that means you take me to church. Of course I answered yes. In another week we'll married be, and the rest why you can guess. For I'll tickle Nancy, and Nancy'll tickle me. When we're together, how happy we shall be, for we shall sit together as happy as can be. And I'll tickle Nancy, and Nancy'll tickle me. Well, now we are married, we invite you all to call. Come around, be careful with us in the fall. For in the winter by the fire sits Nancy on my knee. And I'll tickle Nancy, and Nancy'll tickle me. Hot dog! Little tune called I'll Tickle Nancy from Uncle Dave Macon, the first featured star of the Grand Ole Opry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I often do with people on the show, I'm going to tell you what first got me interested in music. I was 8 years old, and I went to camp, a day camp here in New Jersey, Brook Lake Camp down in, I guess it's Chatham. And my camp counselor was Jack Gutcher, who's still, I believe, a teacher over at Whippany High School. And he was my camp counselor, and one day he brought a ukulele in and he played The Battle of New Orleans by Johnny Horton, which was a big hit on the radio that year. And I thought, man, that is cool. I got to learn how to do that. And my parents bought me a ukulele and gave me lessons with Jack Gutcher, and he taught me how to play by ear, and it's been never looked back since then. And as I also often do with my guests, I'm going to show you that I have a couple albums out here. They're on the Kick and Mule label. We got Makes My Heart Feel Happy, was my first album in 1990, and Wild and Lazy was my second album in 93, and they both are on the Kick and Mule label, which recently has been bought out by the Fantasy label, so their future whereabouts is a mystery to me. But you can call me up and find out my performing schedule and where you can get more information about these albums and how to get them at my number at Banjo Man Entertainment, 201-538-2432. And I also often find out from people who see me, they call me up sometimes and wonder if I'm available to play somewhere or another, because they figure doing all this TV stuff, I must not be available. And, well, that's just not true, ladies and gentlemen. This is a not-for-profit adventure here on this cable TV show. And if you want to find out about hiring me to play at your party or whatever, give me a call there, and I'm available at reasonable rates, too. Now I'm going to turn it over to a public service announcement, and we'll be right back on Horses Sing None of It with me, Ralph Litwin, on Horses Sing None of It. Ha-ha! Howdy, folks. We're all bleary-eyed down here at the Horses Sing None of It because we want you to have this important information. It's right here on the wall. It's amazing just what we'll find here. Every Friday night you can see folk music at the Minstrel Coffee House. It's at the Lord Sterling Road at the Somerset County Environmental Education Center in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And it's sponsored by the Folk Project. Now the Folk Project, they also run the swing and turn dances, and they're in Chatham, and they also run the Folk Project Festival twice a year, and they have parties and all kinds of good stuff going on. If you like the kind of music you see on Horses Sing None of It, you'll like the kind of music that the Folk Project presents too. And you can contact them by writing to P.O. Box 41, Mendham, New Jersey, 07945. That's right. Oh. Whew. It's hot here under these TV lights. I'm going to sing you a song that I recently wrote on an assignment for the New Jersey Songwriter Circles. I must say it does me good to go to that thing. And here it is. It's called The City of Cynics. It's a city of cynics and a country of fools, surrounded by a sea of love they don't teach about in schools. The species become extinct more and more every day. The system is gone out of whack, and our children will pay. The politicians are liars in the company of crooks, on the payroll of the wealthy men. They only care how it looks, and it looks very legal. But even fools know the score. It's a few rotten apples spoil the barrel to the core. There's a few true believers around every block. They say it can get better. The cynics say that's a crock. In the city of cynics and the country of fools, surrounded by a sea of love you don't teach about in schools. It's a city of cynics and a country of fools, surrounded by a sea of love that has its own rules. I'm over here. Okay, thank you very much. Well, that was called The City of Cynics. And I'm going to give you a number, an old-time number that I guess I learned this off of the playing of Jimmie Rodgers, my hero, one of my musical heroes. His picture's up on the wall. I don't know if one of you guys can get this picture up here of Jimmie Rodgers. The father of country music, they called him, the yodeling brakeman. And he became one of the best known, actually the best known performer of his time for a short period. He retired from the railroad because he found out he had TB, and then he became the most famous performer in America for a few years, and then he died of TB. And this was a song that was already old when Jimmie Rodgers played it. It's called Frankie and Johnny. Johnny were lovers. Lord, how they did love. Swore to be true to each other, true as the stars above. He is my man, he wouldn't do me no wrong. Now Frankie went down to the barroom just for a bucket of beer. She said to the portly bartender, has my loving Johnny been here? He is my man, he wouldn't do me no wrong. Said, I ain't gonna tell you no story, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Johnny was here about an hour ago with a hussy named Nellie Bly. He is your man, but he's doing you wrong. Frankie peeked over the transom, there to her surprise, she saw her man Johnny loving up to Nellie Bly. He is my man, and he's doing me wrong. Well, Frankie reached in her kimono and pulled out an old 44. Rudy toot toot, 3 times she did shoot through that hardwood door. He is my man, but he done me wrong. Well, bring out 1,000 policemen, bring them around today. Take me down to the jailhouse, throw the key away. He is my man, he done me wrong. And call out your rubber tire buggies, call out your old-fashioned hack. Taking Johnny to the graveyard, he ain't never coming back. He was my man, and he done me wrong. Well, Frankie says to the judge, what do you suppose they'll do? He says, I'm afraid, Johnny, it's electric chair for you. He was your man, and he done you wrong. Now this story has no moral, this story has no end, and it just goes to show that there ain't no good in men. He was her man, and he done her wrong. He was her man, he didn't do her no wrong. All right, Frankie and Johnny were lovers. Well, I got a few minutes left here to play with, and I'm going to give you an old jug band number. This was one of my first influences. When I was about 16 years old, I went up to another camp, and I had a counselor up there who said, "Kid, I think you'd enjoy jug band music." And he got out a jug and he showed me how to play the thing. And he says, when you get home, go get yourself a record by Dave Van Ronk. and a record by the Jim Queskin Jug Band, and you'll see what it's all about. And that's what I did, and I thought it was one of the greatest things I ever heard, and so I'm going to sing one of those songs I learned off of one of them albums. If I can get my whole thing together here. I know this works somehow. There we go. The one-man jug band here. And this is a song that I recorded on my album Wild and Lazy. Now you think I got all this stuff on here? I can get on my banjo too. There we have it, the contraption. Hi, Bob. Oh, that's Barrett. Listening people, about to sing this song. I'm going to St. Louis and it won't be long, 'cause I'm wild about my loving. I likes to have my fun. If you want to be a gal of mine, you got to bring it with you when you come. Ain't no Iceman, son, but I can keep you cool till that Iceman come. 'Cause I'm wild about my loving. I like to have my fun. If you want to be a gal of mine, you got to bring it with you when you come. Well, I ain't no fireman, son, but I keep you warm until that fireman come. 'Cause I'm wild about my loving. I like to have my fun. If you want to be a gal of mine, you got to bring it with you when you come. Sergeant Jones, tell the chief of police, these women round here won't let me see no peace. 'Cause I'm wild about my loving. I like to have my fun. If you want to be a gal of mine, you got to bring it with you when you come. likes to talk to that fine gal of mine, 'cause I'm wild about my loving. I like to have my fun. If you wanna be a gal of mine, you got to bring it with you when you come. Been to St. Louis and I done had my fun. I'm going round people, I don't know what I've done, 'cause I'm wild about my loving. I like to have my fun. If you wanna be a gal of mine, you got to bring it with you when you come. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hey, 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 what's this upside the wall? Why, it's information about country, folk, and bluegrass music. Every Saturday night at 8 p.m. live concert, at the Albert Music Hall down in Waretown, New Jersey. Why, it's located at the Frederick Priff School. Wells Mill Road in Waretown, New Jersey. And all proceeds benefit the Pinelands Cultural Society and Albert Hall Scholarship Fund. So if you want to have a good time and you're close enough, stop laughing over there, Barbara. The Pinelands Cultural Society, 609-971-1593. For more information, go on down there. I'm sure you'll enjoy yourself. Pinelands Cultural Society. Hey, hey, hey.